today's Warzone video, we're taking a look at the top 5 meta loadouts you guys should be using. These are going to be 5 more loadouts that are going to be incredible and are going to help you dominate Warzone. If you guys haven't enjoyed today's video, give it a like, subscribe, notifications turned on, and let's hop into this. All right, for our first gun here today, we're going to be taking a look at the Marco 5. This is undoubtedly one of my favorite SMGs to use in the game right now, and it is super good. So let's give you guys a crazy good build that's going to help you move around, and this also helped me time my PR in Warzone, which is a little bit nuts. So first thing, I'm going to go through and throw on the recoil booster with that increase in fire rate. Pretty standard for these Vanguard SMGs. Barrel section, we're going to go through on the Perfetto Lesto 355mm barrel. This is just a straight movement style barrel. Really like this one. Definitely a way to go on this gun. Underbarrel section, Mark VI skeletal here for ADS speed and movement speed. I really like the Mark VI on this thing. I just think it is such a good underbarrel. Magazine, we go for the Nambu 64 round mag. It's incredible to have 64 in the magazine on an SMG. It's hugely beneficial when you're playing duos, trios, and quads. I mean, people love to stack and they love to, hold each other's hands. So having 64 rounds in the mag can be pretty beneficial. Ammunition, pretty much you have a couple options in here, but either lengthened or subsonic. Subsonic's gonna keep you off the mini map, but lengthened's also gonna be really good if you don't really care. Me personally, I don't care all that much because I play a lot of solos, and sometimes keeping me on the mini map can help attract more people to me and help me drop more kills in my games. So it's kind of like a dual benefit, bullet velocity and helps attract people towards me. But if you guys don't want that, subsonic is gonna be your way to go. Rear grip section here, we're gonna go through on the taped grip. Just straight, of course, movement stuff, and it's got no cons, which is awesome. Slate reflector here is gonna be our next thing for the optic. Just straight, easy to be able to see through. You guys could throw on probably like, the Night Hour Model 47 if you really felt like it, but my thing is just go for the slate. I mean, it's just such a precision, like, small dot. Makes acquiring your targets very easy. Stock, we're gonna go for the Amaretto FR here. Initial firing recoil, recoil recovery, of course, and then ADS speed and movement speed, all real solid stuff. And then perk 1, we're gonna go through on Frenzy. This gives us that health regen after kills. It's kind of like having quick fix built into your gun, and I personally am a huge fan of that. It's coming clutch in a few different situations. And then in perk 2, we're gonna go for quick for that overall increase in sprint speeds. This is my full build here for the Marco 5. Love this gun. Definitely try this out. All right, next up, let's take a look at a Modern Warfare gun that I think everybody loves or knows and loves, the M4A1. This got a pretty sizable buff here within the Season 5 Reloaded update, and it has been kind of like a fan favorite for a while, but it's never really been like super hard meta, and now it kind of actually is. So let's give you guys a solid build for it. There's actually a couple builds, but we're going to be focusing on more towards the true longer range AR version of this gun. First thing, muzzle to go for the mono suppressor here. This is just a standard, suppressor attachment for all the Modern Warfare guns, ARs, SMGs, LMGs. It doesn't matter. You pretty much always run the mono suppressor. You stay away from the lightweight and the tactical every single time. Barrel section to go for the stock M16 Grenadier barrel. A lot of people love to run the Corvus Custom Marksman, and that's actually pretty effective if you're trying to make this more of that medium-ish range running gun build. Maybe you want to take advantage of the iron sights, but me personally, I kind of like using the stock M16, even if regardless if I do that, I just think it's more effective at damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control in comparison to the Corvus Custom Marksman. Underbarrel section, no matter how you build this gun, got to go for the Commando foregrip. Pretty standard here. Magazine, we're going to go for the 60-round mag here. Just an increase in magazine ammo capacity. I also am a 60-round mag kind of guy, so I love having the 60. And then in the optic, we have a few different options in here, but you guys can throw in the Corp Combat Hollow. This is going to be a fantastic option or addition to this gun, but my preference right now is the VLK 3 times, and I just think this is great. Throw in like a nice little T-pose reticle, and you guys will be good to go. So this is going to be that. Hope you guys enjoy this build here for the M4A1. Super good AR right now. All right, next up, we're going to take a look here at the H4 Blixen, one of my other favorite SMGs to use in Warsaw right now, as it is incredibly good. It got nerfed a little bit. I mean, they tried to nerf this thing, the Marco, so many times, but I mean, you just can't nerf really good guns. Even the Armaguerra is still really good. But first thing, muzzle, we're going to go throw on the recoil booster to increase that fire rate. Barrel section, we're going to go through on the Bergstrom 17F3, recoil control and accuracy, bullet velocity, flinch resistance, all real good stuff here for this barrel. I have ran the Johnson 9 RMK recently, but I will warn you guys, it will bounce around quite a bit, so the Bergstrom is going to be probably largely beneficial for a majority of the players out there in comparison to the Johnson. Underbarrel section, we go through on the SG98 compact here, real good stuff in walking movement speed, reduce scope sway and gun bob. Magazine, we're going to go through on the 7.62 Garanco 54 round mag. Pretty standard. We've been running this for a while now, so no reason to switch it up. Ammunition, you guys, like I said, have a couple options, lengthened or subsonic. Between these two, it realistically does not matter. It's up to you. I'd probably go for lengthened just because I want people to come my direction when I'm actually, shooting. Rear grip section, we're gonna go throw on the grooved grip here. This is just gonna be really solid for just, you know, sliding around a little bit, and I love being able to do that with this gun, so the grooved grip works out great. Optic, we're gonna go throw on the slate reflector here. Just pretty much like I said for the Marco, I mean, there's, you know, no reason not to run the slate reflector. You guys could run the Night Model 47 or even try the iron sights on this thing, but I personally am not the biggest fan of the iron sights, but you will get an ADS benefit through running the iron sights. So try that out for yourself, see what you like, but I go for the slate. Stock, we're gonna go for the remove stock here just to kind of max out our movement speed, ADS speed, and aim down sight speed. Real good stuff here. I love running the remove stock. Perk 1, we're gonna go for fleet for weapon swap quickness and movement speed. And then perk 2, we're gonna go for quick for that overall increase in sprint speeds. This is my full build here for the H4 Blixen. Love this thing. Definitely try this out here after the update. It is incredible. Next up, we're gonna take a look here at everybody's favorite AR from Vanguard that gets used in Warzone right now, which is the Cooper Carbine. I know a lot of people absolutely love this thing, and for good reason, because it's got virtually no recoil when you got the right build on it. So let's give you guys a really solid build. So muzzle, we're gonna go throw on the MX silencer here, of course. Pretty much we always go for the MX over the Mercury. It doesn't really make sense to use the Mercury when the MX has so many more benefits that are just better. Barrel, we're gonna go for the 22 Cooper Custom. Apart from making this more effective at range, it also increases your fire rate, which is really good stuff. So this is just definitely the best barrel out there. Underbarrel section, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for the Carver foregrip here to kind of balance out that vertical recoil, and also it gives us a little bit of hipfire accuracy, which is definitely not a bad thing considering you can actually make the Cooper into more or less an SMG if you really felt like it. So it helps you out there if you get into a close quarter situation. Magazine, we're gonna go through on the 9mm 60 round drum. Pretty much a standard thing here. We can run the 9mm 60 no matter pretty much how you build this thing. AR, SMG, doesn't really matter. You always go for the 60 round drum. Ammunition, we're gonna go for lengthened for increase in bullet velocity. This is a true AR, so no reason to kind of throw subsonic, or the compressed rounds can be like decent, but I just always go for lengthened as that just works out the best for me. When I go for the optic now, you have a couple options in here, but a lot of people like to go for the G16 2.5x, especially if you're playing like, let's say, Rebirth Island, Fortune's Keep. You guys could also definitely go for the SVT scope, which is kind of like my personal choice, but I think it seems like to be a lot more people like to go for the G16 2.5. So between 2.5 and the 3, it's up to you guys. Now in the rear grip section here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through on the polymer grip for flinch resistance and accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. Real solid rear grip. Stock, we're gonna go for the Cooper Custom Padded. This is gonna give us great flinch resistance and of course more accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. Now in perk 1, we're gonna go for tight grip, and this is gonna once again give us more of that accuracy and recoil. And then perk 2, we're gonna go for fully loaded for that maximum starting ammo capacities. This is my full builds here on the Cooper Carbine. Try it out, see what you think. I absolutely love the Cooper. Really good gun. And last but not least, we're gonna take a look here at one of people's favorite Modern Warfare SMGs, the CX9. This got a pretty sizable buff here, and in terms of its movement speed and its overall damage output, so it's definitely a meta SMG you guys should be using. Now I'm gonna give you a pretty movement-based build, considering a lot of the Modern Warfare SMGs don't have good movement in comparison to some of the Vanguard, even the Cold War ones. They're kind of a little bit more sluggish in that regard, so we got to speed this thing up as much as possible. So first thing, muzzle, we're gonna go throw on the mono suppressor here. Sound suppression, damage range, like I said, pretty standard option for all of our Modern Warfare weapons. We're gonna skip the barrel section, though I know in the barrel there is indeed this, which has the integral suppressor, but this will slow us down a little bit too much for my liking, so we got to stay super agile, super mobile, and this will not really help us out. After that, we're gonna go for the 5MW laser for hipfire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. Great for those close quarter situations, and well, it just really helps out the hipfire accuracy on this thing. I've used the hipfire plenty of times, and it's very effective. After that, magazine, we're gonna go throw on the 50 round drum here. I absolutely love the 50 on this thing. I don't like the reload speed on this, so we'll take care of that in a second, but I just prefer to have the 50 on here. Never go for the hollow point 12. I don't know what these things even are. They're not useful in any capacity. And same with the 30 round mag. This is pretty much useless, so just go for the 50. After that, we're gonna go straight into the stock section, and we're gonna go throw on the CX-FR. This is gonna be a straight movement build, like I said, so you will kind of suffer in terms of like that aiming stability. So if you guys don't want to lose more of that aiming stability, go for something like the CX-FA. This will be a great option as well if you feel like the FR is a little bit too much. Then for our last attachment, and we're going to go for a perk, and that's going to be sleight of hand, just because the reload quickness on this thing, like when by itself, is atrocious, and we need to be able to kind of, you know, really speed that up. And sleight of hand does a wonderful job on this gun in particular by speeding it up by like 10 times. It's kind of insane, and it really helps out. So that's my full builds here for the CX9. Definitely try it out. Hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, give it a like, subscribe, notifications turned on. I'll see you all later. Just run up to Captain, I'll be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.